Haruoween, sushi sloppers. It's that time of year again. The time of year that only comes just once a year. It's my New Year's, my Christmas, the most important holiday of the year for me. It's the 13th annual Deathiversary. According to legend, it all started on May 9th, 2014, a week before Hollywood's attempted assassination attempt on Godzilla on May 16th. I thought it was the end, so I watched every single Godzilla movie in a row over that last week before the trigger was pulled. Only, it didn't take. Neither of us died, and a whole year rolled around, and I found myself on May 9th, 2015, and so I did it all over again. And Deathiversary became an ironic name for my annual week-long Godzilla marathon, which is basically a victory lap for me having survived another year. Now, 2 years ago, which for those of you counting, was a full decade after the original 2014 Deathiversary, I made a decision. When I started, there were 28 Godzilla movies, and while there was a 12-year gap between Final Wars and Shin Godzilla, in the 12 years since Deathiversary started, there have been an additional 5 Godzilla films with a 6th coming out later this year. So not only is Godzilla not dead, but you can't stop this guy. And while 28 worked out to 4 a day over 7 days, and 32 worked out to 4 a day over 8 days, if we keep going like this, it would just start getting more and more ridiculous. So I made the decision that 2024 would be the last true Deathiversary in that sense. I'm still doing the marathon, and I'm still streaming it as I have done for the past 4 years, but it's not going to be every single Godzilla film, chief among those reasons being that it can't be, because the next Godzilla movie isn't coming out until November. Now, last year we ended up doing nearly every film anyways because we did a Konbuvi gimmick. Konbuvis, of course, being when you watch 2 or more movies at the same time, kind of like an album sync, but better. This year I've got a different plan, because the release date for the new Godzilla is November 6th, an unprecedented 3 days after its domestic premiere. That puts it firmly within the week between Godzilla's birthday and my own, which we didn't do a marathon during last year, but with a new Godzilla film coming out during that week, it'd be stupid not to this year. So if we take the total number of Godzilla films on November the 6th, that's 34, and if we do both Deathiversary and a birthday week marathon, that's 2 8-day marathons, giving us 17 films per marathon, which is as simple as a double feature per day with 1 bonus left over, which is how long my show runs anyways. So I thought it would be fun to divide them up between odds and evens so that each marathon will skip every other movie. And that works out almost perfectly, but with 2 exceptions. Exception number the first is that the most important tradition for Deathiversary is that we do the first film on day 1, which is May 9th, Biollante on day 5, which is May 13th, and then the last film, which by every metric other than chronological release order is Planet Eater, on Sad Death Night, which is May 16th. This almost works, as 1 and 17 are odd numbers, but Planet Eater is the 32nd film, which means we have 1 even-numbered film that we non-negotiably have to include in Deathiversary this year. But that's okay, because exception number the second is that the new film coming out this November is a direct sequel to -1, which is the 33rd Godzilla film, and there's no way in hell I'm not watching -1 before heading over to the theater to see the sequel. So although the gimmick for each of these is going to be evens and odds, exactly 1 even and odd will be swapped, with 32 being an honorary odd and 33 being an honorary even. You got all that? Now, before I get into the specifics of the schedule for the Deathiversary streams this year, I have a couple of announcements to make about the bonus stuff. Bonus number the first is that aside from the day we'll have to do a triple feature, I will have little bonus things each day. This includes episodes of various Godzilla TV shows, and then fan films, and I've handpicked all of those things special. Just like a regular episode, we'll run the bonus stuff in the halftime section between the 2 features. And I'll get more into that when we go through the schedule. Second thing is that I'm going to be going through my Deathiversary journal that I wrote last year as a section of the Red Show, which is, for non-sushi sloppers, what I call the opening segment of the show, where I just kind of goof around for a while before starting the movie. And I'm going to put it up on camera and show off all the little pages I made, and then we can all laugh and cry and cringe together at all the terrible decisions that I made last year. Next up, every year I like to do an art project that I do a little bit of every day. This is a big part of Deathiversary for me, and technically the journal is also an art project, and I also tend to do photo collages every year without even really trying to, so that might also happen. But I have a new idea this year, which is inspired by me finally restringing my guitar, which I have renamed Cassandra 2, because my guitar is also trans and nobody listens to her either, which is that I'm going to write a song. The idea is every day I'll write a verse or so, and then by the end of the week I'll string all those verses together and I'll have a ballad or whatever. And this is where I say it every year, and I'm gonna say it again even though nobody listens to me, but Deathiversary has kept me alive for 12 years, so I really do mean this. Do an art. It doesn't matter what you do. Draw something, take pictures, write some sort of craft. The medium doesn't matter, the subject doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you take a week to create some sort of art, to express yourself in some sort of way, so that by the end of the week you can put that body of work together and have something to remind you of why it's worth fighting to survive to see another Deathiversary next year. It's important, and it's part of it, and if you want to celebrate Haruoween correctly, you gotta do it, okay? Finally, I'm doing a Digimon Hatch. After over a year of Zenin fucking with me and treating me like garbage and trying to scam me, I finally got my Digital Monster Color X Godzilla version 70th, terrible name by the way, and I'm going to hatch an egg on day 1, May 9th, and so we'll be watching this little guy grow up over the week. And if you have a Digimon at home, feel free to join me and share what's going on with them in the Discord or in the stream chat or whatever. I just want to see. And when I say that we're going to watch them grow up on stream, I mean that literally. I have this camera contraption that I set up so they'll be able to hang out with us during the show. It's a bit of a janky setup, and the screen has this auto dark function, so that might be a whole thing. But raising a Digimon is more about the journey than the destination, so I really want to share that journey, so please bear with me. One last thing I gotta tell you is that we will be starting at the regular time, 15 Pacific every day. No weird stuff. It's just like the regular shows, 2 features and some bonuses, but for 8 days. And now, finally, here's your Acifal Deathiversary 2026 stream schedule. Starting on day 1, Saturday, May 9th, we've got the original Godzilla, and then we skip one, and then the A picture is King Kong versus Godzilla. The bonus for day 1 is a new cut of the semi-lost fan film Wolfman vs. Godzilla that runs 40 minutes long that surfaced online as recently as last month. I don't know the whole story behind how it surfaced, but it's here, and it's subtitled, and I have to see it. And in fact, I've been saving it specifically for Deathiversary, so I'm hyped. Day 2 is Sunday, May 10th, which is when Mom Day falls this year. So call your mom, call your grandma, call any moms in your life who deserve it, because a good mom is worth appreciating. So that's important, and that's part of it, because Mom Day falls on Deathiversary every year. So don't forget. Once you've done that, come over to the stream and check out Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, probably the Champion Festival version, with Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, either the TV dub or the MSC3K episode, depending on how we feel. As for the bonus stuff, I've got Season 1, Episode 12 of the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon, The Sub-Zero Terror, followed by The Sub-Zero Terror, a fan film by the YouTube channel Lost Utopia Films, which is the same channel that produced Shelter 54, which is a bit of a game changer for fan films, so I'm very excited for this one too, and again, I've been saving it for Deathiversary. And of course, as established last year, before the day is over, don't forget to put your shit out for Dr. Haruoween, okay? That's part of it. You gotta leave your shit out for him, or it doesn't count. Alright, day 3 is Monday, May 11th, which technically means it's a regular episode. We'll have Destroy All Monsters, maybe a dub, maybe another attempt at the music for Cat's album sync. I'm not sure, but it'll be some version of that film, and then Godzilla vs. Hedorah, so this day is gonna rule. The bonuses are some number of episodes towards the tail end of Godzilla Island, probably not the whole last arc, but at least from when Hyper Mechagodzilla shows up until the end. And then another fan film, this time from Kannon, called Shin, Hedorah, which is a personal favorite of mine and a must-see, so you don't want to miss that either. Day 4 is Tuesday, May 12th, and we've got Godzilla vs. Megalon and Terror of Mechagodzilla. If we don't do the MSC3K version of Sea Monster, we will probably do it for Megalon, and I think these will both be dubs. Probably the cut of Mechagodzilla with the "What is Godzilla? Nobody knows" intro segment, from the Saperstein version. And then the bonus will, of course, be a couple episodes of Zone Fighter. To be determined. At least one will have Godzilla in it, but if I choose to show the Bulgaris episode, that is my right as the horror host, and that's a risk you're going to have to take. Otherwise, probably the Gigan episode. Day 5, or Biollante, is Wednesday, May 13th, and this is the big one, folks. Get your lasagnas out. That's part of it, too. We've got mankind's greatest work, Godzilla vs. Biollante, followed by Godzilla vs. Mothra, which is also a Godzilla movie. The bonuses for this are going to be crazy. First, it's the aforementioned fan film Shelter 54, which I have to show on this day because it's the world's first analog horror Biollante story. There are lots of Godzilla analog horrors, but this one is Biollante specifically. And then I'm going to follow that up with an episode of the children's educational cartoon Godzilland and its episode on learning Hiragana. So that's not totally confusing. Day 6, no longer an also ran, is Thursday, May 14th, and we've got Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and Godzilla 2000. So I hope you like the music of Takayuki Hitori, and if you don't, Godzilla's probably not the series for you, because he's the second most prolific musician in the series with a total of 5 Godzilla films under his belt, and this will be both of his live-action scores. The bonus is going to blow your mind. Because of all the bonuses, this is in the top 3 most exciting things, just behind Wolfman vs. Godzilla and what I'm screening on Day 7. What is this amazing bonus feature? Well, it's the entirety of the Godziburst web series of 3-minute-long toy ads with insane lore written by 9-year-olds to sell to 8-year-olds. It's 19 episodes in all, counting episode 0, and we're going to watch the whole damn thing, because Godziburst is insane and beautiful, and I only recently learned from Gawachin that such a series even existed. So, I'm really excited to see it. Excited. Alright, Day 7, Passing Crow Eve, Friday, May 15th. It's a GMK and Tokyo SOS, which is exactly the schedule for the regular episode on Godzilla's birthday last year, so you can tell I'm not running out of ideas. So this is another winner for sure, but if the features weren't enough, the bonus for Day 7, the last one of the marathon and the one I'm most excited to see, is a fan film called Godzilla Just Pray, which is proof that I'm not the only person who realizes that every movie is secretly just a version of Jesus vs. Dracula. The basic premise is that Godzilla incarnates in the Mephes cult, leaks into this universe too, and King Ghidorah becomes worshipped as an angel that the death cult summons to save them from Godzilla. And the art is absolutely incredible, and I'm convinced the show was made for me specifically. It looks so fucking cool, and I'm so psyched, so please don't miss it if you can help it. Which brings us at last to Passing Crow Day, formerly Sad Death Night, Saturday, May 16th. We end on a triple feature with Shin Godzilla, City on the Edge of Battle, and Planet Eater. We may or may not do an encore of Godzilla vs. the Cyber Monster or Ghidorah Samsara. Not sure. I'm leaning towards no, but I'm just telling you that the option is there. Finally, we'll close out Deathiversary, and with it another year, with the Passing Crow ceremony, which is real magic and is part of it. You write down all your fears, and then you burn them, and that's it. That's Deathiversary, that's the year, that's spring once again, and a new beginning for all of us. So thank you for checking out this extra long orientation video for Deathiversary 2026. I hope you'll join me on the adventure, be that just watching Godzilla movies, making your own art, raising a Digimon, or however you choose to celebrate. This past year has been only good to monsters. The rest of us have suffered and lived under incredible amounts of fear and anger, as all of the prophecies I've been warning you all about for so long have been coming true one by one. But I survived more suicide attempts than I can remember, and I survived being homeless twice. And all of us collectively are the descendants of the only survivors of every single mass extinction. Surviving is something Earthlings have been doing for a long time, and whether you know it yet or not, you can survive too. The world may be on fire, and Ghidorah's cult is more powerful than ever before. But if you watch my stream this Deathiversary, all of your problems will be solved. Provided, of course, those problems are based entirely on you not having seen enough Godzilla movies. So, Deathiversary 2026, starting May 9th at 15 Pacific, going every day through May 16th, 8 days of Godzilla movies, TV episodes, fan films, new art, and raising Digimon. It's all happening on Mally's Monster Movie Monday on twitch.tv/priestessmally. Pass peacefully, little crows.